it's to live a life true to yourself rather than the expectations of others. And sometimes that can seem very easy or very obvious, but very few people end up doing it, and it's quite a sad thing. And I think it's quite a common deathbed confession when you talk to people in their last few days. And the most common thing people seem to say is that they wish they lived that life that was truer to themselves rather than other people. You need to look sort of longer term, and don't be afraid to take one step back to take two steps forward.
Yes, that's true. I like your advice. I like what you've said. Just keep on moving and look for long term. And step by step, and you can achieve it if you keep on doing, keep on pushing yourself that I can do this. And
Yeah.
of course, there are lots of criticism because there are sensitive, there are insensitive. As long as you are aware in yourself, aware of your actions and your reactions, because every time, every day, whatever your actions or words, there are always some people that can give you some criticism or can judge you. But as long as you know yourself, you believe in yourself that you know that you can do it, and just encourage even yourself, you can encourage your own self that I can do this. I don't need to listen some negative feedbacks or some bashing of some bashers. So yeah, of course, still we have an emotion sometimes. We can feel, I mean, we cannot control people, other people, what they think, what their actions, and we cannot control them, what their emotions, but you can control your own emotions.
Yeah, and I mean, as human beings, we are serial comparers, and like as things get worse, we just start comparing more and more. It's almost like an inbuilt little bit of anxiety we have. It's like getting your ruler out and measuring something constantly. And yeah, it's easy to say and it's harder to do, but I'd always encourage people to measure themselves against who they were yesterday rather than someone else. And it's obvious when you think about it why you do that. And it's because think of all the little decisions and all the little things that happen to you in a single day, then multiply it by a lifetime. And this, take the example that you're 20 years old and you compare yourself to another 20 years old person. Think of all the different little bits of luck and environmental changes and effort maybe that person's put in, all those different changes that have happened up to the age of 20, and then realize how impractical it is to compare yourself to them. You're so different, it's almost laughable. And also you see them as a yardstick, as a measuring stick that's going to be there forever. So when you're 65, you can still compare yourself to your friend James or your friend Sophie, and almost certainly you won't have any contact with them. And it's funny how human brains work, but as you have less contact with them, you're not so interested in comparing yourself to them. And sometimes you start wishing them all the best because they're not seen as a direct rival. But yeah, think about it. If you compared yourself to yesterday and you always said, if I could only be slightly better than yesterday, imagine how much better you would be in 1 or 2 years' time. I also want to emphasize the point of I can say that and I know the answer, but even myself, I don't do that a lot of the time. It's so easy as a human being to fall into the comparison trap. So I'm not sitting here saying it as some sort of gospel who gets everything right. I'm just as bad as anyone else at it. I just think if you've got it in mind, at least that gives you the guiding light to what you know is correct. That's a start.
I like all you've said. It's a wonderful advice for everyone, and I learned a lot from you of all you've said. You know, it's really important. We have negative, we can be negative sometimes, but it's really important to be positive in things that you want to achieve someday. Of course, your goals, your dreams. Just think positive that soon that you can achieve that goal. Or yeah, just do what you love. I mean, love what you do. Just love what you do, and
Yeah.
the set aside some issues or some negative vibes. Just be happy on yourself and think that you're doing it because you want to improve yourself. You want to improve, and you're doing it because of yourself, not
Mm,
for everyone, not to
yeah.
anybody.
Two of the points you just made there, you said, very nice of you to say, I've learned quite a bit from you. And you also said, just the underrated importance of being positive. If you combine both being positive and saying you may have learned a bit, I think that one of the good rules to follow in any conversation you get into is to assume the person you're talking to knows something that you don't, because it's very easy sometimes to, it comes back to openness and the power of being open, but it's very easy to enter a conversation with someone, and before they've even opened their mouth to you, you've labeled them and you've put them on this low level just through assumptions. I don't know how people work it out, how people look or how people act, but if you enter with a more open attitude, for a start, that person's more likely to open up to you, and you're more likely to learn something because you're being more welcoming, and you will gain so much more knowledge rather than cutting off some conversation before it's even started. And so I try and do that to people, and it's another thing. When you're younger, you're horrendous at it. You're so busy working out that you're uh, more intelligent than 50% of people or whatever, and I'm not wasting my time with this person. And you're literally closing off pockets of knowledge where they can teach you something. And also, on the very rare occasion where you don't learn something from someone, it's quite often because they have a negative attitude themselves. You will still have gained an experience of how to deal with that type of person in a conversation.
Mm-mm. Yes, I like that. I like that one. Always think positive. Always be positive in yourself. It's always in you, not to, it's all in you. It's inside you that um when you wake up, you should be feel alive when you think positive, and then you should be aware too in anything to everyone. And bottom line, awareness is important. That's it.
Yeah, and touching on waking up as well. That's you've triggered another thought in my head. Um, I think there's a great power in starting your day off with some sort of morning routine, and I can hear people already falling asleep. Oh, they're going to talk about morning routine, and you see them online, whether it's Instagram or some other site, and someone's telling you this long list of 27 different things they do every morning, and everything is perfect. Like they
Mm,
get up very early, they go for a short run in the sunshine, drink some water, meditate, pray, and all that
mm,
all that does is that doesn't help at all, because first of all, they're not doing that. I would put money on that. And secondly, it's creating this false idealistic view. I would simplify it into a morning routine of 3 things and make it unique to you. There's no right example, but I would say
mm,
just the simple thing of having a regular time that you get up, keeping that consistency
mm,
will keep your sleep consistent, so you will recover consistent. And then you can pick 2 more things you add to that. It can be keep them very simple, because the more simple you keep them, the more likely you build a routine rather than break it. So I would encourage some sort of water and maybe a little bit of food. and some
Yes.
sort of walk. You can do them what order you want. I think a lot of people like to do the walk before they eat, but something simple like a 10-minute walk. It doesn't sound as good on Instagram as a 10-kilometer run or running for an hour, but this one you can actually keep. So yeah, and just a small little routine like that. It's amazing that how strong the link is, that if you win the morning, you quite often win the day. It sets up a productive day. So I think especially for people, we've missed the new year, but we're now starting a new year, and for people who are really trying to move out of maybe a period where they're feeling lazy or they're stuck in a position, if you can just do a very simple morning routine, 3 very easy things, just do it for 1 week, and then after the week, ask yourself the question, how difficult that was, can I continue it, and is it of benefit to me? Sort of, yeah, the amount, and the answers you should get are, wow, it wasn't that difficult, and considering how easy it was, I actually feel quite a bit better. And hopefully that forms a habit you can stick to, and it can really help you get out of a low period, because we've all been there.
Yes, I will follow that. I mean, that's a good advice, and we all need that. And I will do that. Thank you for that advice. Sometimes we have listeners, but if you just keep pushing yourself to do what we need, or what to do the right thing, like especially having exercise regularly or walking like that. And I do that every time when I wake up. I drink warm water because we need that in our body. And eating healthy diet so can give you a lot of energy. And sleeping 8 hours, drinking a lot of water, it can help you to have a positive mindset. Yes, because it's really important how you take care of yourself, and it can help you how to think.
Yeah, and I agree. Yeah, sleep is like a backbone for anything you do. You can say work hard, play hard, and recover hard, and it's like a hard limit, because people think they can reduce sleep and get away with it, and to some extent you can for a couple of days, but it will soon catch up with you. It's like a debt. You've built up a debt, and you still have to pay it. There's no prize for managing for 2 days and you get to continue for free. You have to pay that, and it makes sense, really. Like, if you want to be energetic and very productive during the day,
Yes,
the energy has to come from somewhere, and it's not just your food, it's also recharging through sleep.
Yes. Thank you so much, George, for all the things you've said, for all the tips and advice. Okay, you can comment down below if you have any questions or maybe additional advice or tips. And you can comment, and any question, George will answer it, and I can answer too.
Well, I'll try to answer them, but yeah, I can never promise I know the answer, because you may have some excellent questions. But if I don't know the answer, my second best thing I always try and do is to either look it up and work out the answer myself and come back, or to refer you on to some other source that can help you.
Yes, George. You can ask any questions, and George can help you, and I can help you too. And just comment down below any questions, any additional info about our conversation. And thank you. And please like, subscribe this channel, because I'm new here, and I hope you support this channel, because I have a lot of videos, upcoming videos about self-development, and by the help of George.
No,
Thank you. Thank you so much.
yeah, thank you everyone for listening. I think this is a bit of a longer video, so I really appreciate people who've got this far listening to us talk. Sometimes it's not easy, but yeah, hopefully if you just gain one thing from this, then I feel happy and satisfied that it's been been worth it. So thank you.
Thank you so much, George. I really appreciate that you guest here. Even this is a small channel, but you give time for this, and thank you for all the advice and tips I've learned from you. I know that they will learn from your advice and tips, sir. And thank you so much. Thank you. That's all I want to say. Thank you. I'm sorry for my English because I'm not ready. On the spot. Okay, okay. Thank you so much, George. But you have any advice? No, a quote or a sayings or just one line. Do you have any motto or favorite motto or quote like that?
Yeah, so I probably have maybe 2 or 3, and I might tease the audience a bit by only giving one this time. So maybe you have to either bug me in the comments or tune in if we catch up on another one. But if I leave you with one, it's to live a life true to yourself rather than the expectations of others. And sometimes that can seem very easy or very obvious, but very few people end up doing it, and it's quite a sad thing. And I think it's quite a common deathbed confession when you talk to people in their last few days. And the most common thing people seem to say is that they wish they lived that life that was truer to themselves rather than other people. And so I think that's a good message to end on, and for people to maybe reconsider a few of the things they're doing and work out why they're doing it. And if the main motive is to either impress someone else or to basically for the benefit of others before yourself, there's nothing wrong with doing a goal or having a mission even that benefits other people. It's one of the most rewarding things you can do, but it needs to tick the box of being true to what you want yourself first before it can benefit others, not the other way around.
Wow. Wow. I like that. I should follow that too. Okay. Um, I hope you've learned from these conversations, and then you've learned a lot from George. And thank you so much, George, for your time, and thank you for that advice and tips, and that especially that message you've said just a while. Thank you. And then thank you for watching. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you will support my channel because I'm new here, and please subscribe. And thank you, George, so much.
Yes, thank you for your time, Rose. Yeah, thank you for everyone for listening. It's been great fun.
Sorry for the noise. There's a little bit noisy here in my house. Babies are crying. My nieces and nephews are here at my side. That's why a little bit noisy. Okay. Hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much, George. Have a great day. And this is Kads from Kads Chikahan, and it's a Tagalog word, Kachikahan. So thank you, and please subscribe.